Hey, good evening, everyone. Today is May 27th, 2025. It's a Tuesday. It's been solid. This was our day off work, so we've been here all day. We got to sleep in, which was so sick, and then it was my nephew's, almost got niece and nephew mixed up, nephew's birthday party. So all the goals for the day were brush teeth, morning video log, didn't get done. Organize my clothes, did get done. Have Ava put away her clothes and put away the whites, and then do a little laundry, water my sprouts, water the beans, do some yard work. Josue came at 7 and helped with yard work. That was one of the goals, and then plant sprouts, which we did not do. Then Leo's birthday today at noon, and then noon to 1 they said, and then take a shower, trim a beard. Did shower, haven't done this, probably gonna do it tomorrow, and then make a recovery video log for Saturday and Sunday. So I brushed my teeth, organized my clothes, watered the sprouts and beans, did yard work. Josue came over. We didn't plant the sprouts, and did go to Leo's birthday and did shower. So we actually woke up super late. We were up super late, or I was up super late. I was researching George Washington. If you watched yesterday's video log, I talked about him a lot. It's pretty cool. Some of the things I thought were interesting. And then we went to Leo's birthday party around 1-ish, and then that lasted till about 3:30. And then played some games after that. Got home. Ava got picked up by Lorelai, and they went and hung out. And then I showered. Corey picked me up, and we went and got McDonald's with my older brother. Came home and ate, and then went out and started doing yard work. While I was out doing yard work, I was like just starting, and the neighbors walked over to my house and talked to my mom. They said that they have like one of the big dumpsters that they rented, and if we want to throw some stuff in there, we can. So we moved some stuff from our shed that we had piling up, and put it in their thing. That was pretty sick of them. And then Josue got to our house, so I started doing yard work with him. He was letting me yap. And then we came inside, took a little break, and I like showed him our apartment and everything. He hasn't been here since I was a teenager. Like, he said that the last time he came here, I was still in high school. And I was like, dude, that's like 5 years ago. And like everything has changed, right? So we showed like the new layout. I mean, it's not a new floor plan, but like a new layout of every single bit of furniture, how things have been cleaned and like changed. It's so cool to see. And he's like, yo, it's like a whole apartment up here. I'm like, dude, I know. When I tell people we rent from my mom, it does not do the apartment justice. And then while we were doing yard work, one of my video logs kept getting like people to subscribe to me, and someone left a comment on this. 4/25/2025 got 98 views. What is my analytics on this? 1.2% click rate. Reach 1.7% click through rate. That's crazy. So yeah, someone left a comment and said, "Your seemingly twin-sized bed and blue walls scare me." I'm like, it's just a couch, bro. Like, I don't sleep on it. It's just a couch. But yeah, I responded to it while I was doing that, and Josue was like, "Oh, you be like getting subscribers and stuff?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like every now and then a video log get recommended to people, and they'll subscribe and view and whatever." I'm like, I'm at 98 subscribers. That's so weird, dude. And so it kind of like inspired me to want to make more like content videos. I just don't really care like put in that time and effort unless I'm like deeply interested in the concept. So today I spent all the time finding concepts that I was deeply interested in. And so, anyways, finished up in the yard. Josue left. He didn't leave yet. I showed him around and everything, and then we came upstairs and watched Solo Leveling. He hadn't seen it, and it's me and Ava's like favorite show. So we were just like, dude, gotta watch Solo Leveling. So watched some Solo Leveling with him. He left after like 2 episodes, and then went downstairs, swept the kitchen, prepped potatoes for tomorrow. Took out all the trash to the curbs, and then none of that was even like a goal. It just happened. And then I was listening to a video talking about this economist who he had like interesting ideas, and we call it Keynesism, I think. I should know the name, but it basically the H.R. talked about like during bad times, lower taxes and take on debt to like get the economy flowing again, and during good times, raise taxes and raise interest rates. And it's like America's kind of at the point where we haven't done any of the stuff you're supposed to do in good times in so long that we just keep doing what we're supposed to do in bad times, even though times are good, right? And so we're kind of at this point where it's like taxes aren't being raised, so the government's been running a huge deficit. We're super deeply in debt.
to the point that even if we raise taxes, we can't like pay off the debt consistently, efficiently, fast enough to be back at baseline by the next hard time, right? And so I kind of had this thought pop in my head of like, if you have a base of uneducated, yeah, that's exactly it. If you have a base of uneducated voters in America, which we do, they don't understand the basics of an economy enough to understand that if times are good, raising taxes is a necessary evil. The average American just doesn't get that. And they're uneducated enough to believe that lowering taxes on the rich is going to benefit them in any way. What? And I was playing CS:GO earlier, and just chatting, and some dude was like, "Hey man, before I vote for you, what are your political beliefs?" And I was like, "Okay, you got anything specific?" And then we like talked about homophobia for a little while because it's CS:GO, and I was like, "Yeah, it'd be like progressive tax rate, all this," and he was like, "Oh, progressive tax rate, bro, liberal," and I was just like, "No, I'm a capitalist. Like, the progressive tax rate is not a it's not a political affiliation. It's an economic theory." What? Like, okay. Just because something is governed by the government doesn't make it a political issue. Truly. It's not a political issue. When the government is involved in racial things, that's a social issue, not a political one. When the government is involved in collecting taxes, that is an economic and logistical issue that needs to be dealt with according to economic theory, not a political issue. Like, just to even think that someone would not understand that taxing people who need to choose between food and heating in their home is it bad, and that taxing people between buying one yacht or two yachts is bad. Like, which is worse? And it's like the buying one yacht or two yachts is kind of a whatever. How it actually happens is they save such an unfathomable amount of money from their taxes that they're able to buy more assets. And that's all the money's doing. Like, they're not opening small town bakeries. They're not opening small town bakeries. They're not opening small town butchers. They're not supporting small dairy farmers, small ranchers. They're not supporting a small furniture repairman. They're not buying him a new truck so he can go do more jobs, right? Like, they're not doing those things because the returns aren't consistent. So they have to invest in things that are going to consistently make returns. Large investments. They have to inflate asset prices with the tax money they save. There's nothing else to buy. Like, dude, seriously. I remember as a kid they would talk about Bill Gates made a comment of like, if I went a day, there is not a day I live where I could not buy everything I looked at. In the whole day, I could buy everything I looked at. And I'm sitting there going, what? Like, that's the level of freedom that he's at, where he could literally drive around a town and everything he looked at combined, he could afford to purchase outright. All combined. And I just remember being like, what, dude? What? Like, people, there are regular people making less than $100,000 a year arguing that we should not tax that man more. And they're arguing, and they don't understand, upping his tax burden would lower theirs. By raising the taxes progressively, on the flip side, you can tax less. So it's like, what are we even thinking about? What are we even thinking? It just doesn't make sense. Like, it's one of those things where if you say it, someone can go, oh, I can see how that could make sense. That much deeper, and it makes no damn sense, dude. Like, logically, it makes no sense. When you think about having money flow back through a society, You can't have it trickle down. It has to flow off both sides and hit the bottom. My bad. So it can flow back up. Like that's how it has to work. You can't just let all the money sit on top of the assets and make the country look good from the outside. No. That doesn't work. You have to flow it back down so that the people who work in the fields can go buy a McDonald's burger, so that McDonald's burger can be purchased from farmers all across America, so that that's just how it has to happen. You know, like, so McDonald's can pay that minimum wage employee who can go buy a pair of jeans, who can support Sears for whatever reason, and like that's how it has to happen. And then Sears can hire the cashier who checked out the person, and then that cashier's gonna take that money and they go that's how it has to happen, or else it falls apart, and that's where we are at America. And it's really interesting to see the late game because money isn't flowing anymore, and we're heading into what could potentially be a crisis, and our government can't take on any more debt. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. And you can't have a country that's the world reserve currency lower taxes, raise the budget deficit, vow to borrow more, and not have a clear plan of paying it back. It's not possible. But America's trying. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to make these last couple video logs for Saturday and Sunday, and then I'm heading to bed because I'm tired. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a good one.